Today, we're going to check that the SD card we bought delivers what it promised. Let's go. So here we have this little cheap SD card, and it's bought for 151 crowns, which is 18 US dollars by today. It's branded Huawei, but as one can kind of see from the package, the package doesn't really say Huawei, so safe to say this chip is actually not from Huawei. This cost me 549 Swedish crowns, which is 65 US dollars by today's rating.
To test the actual size of the SD card and to check if there is any error on it, we'll need to run this program, H2TestW. We first run it on the faulty SD card. And when we do this, we can see it's not actually the size that it promised to be, and we get this error here. So let's test the more expensive one. So we are going to click English, select Target, select the SD card, and we just click Write and Verify. Alright, let's test it. Now this will take some time, so just let it run. Alright, now you can see that H2TestW is now done, and after doing this test you can certainly see that it indeed is not a fake drive. We didn't have any errors. We could test all this space, which is basically the amount that were promised, without any errors. So it tested all the space and it worked completely fine. So let us now test the actual quickness of the drive. Let's test the read and write speed that were promised. So to get Crystal Disk Mark, you can find it in the links in the description together with the software we looked at earlier. Now we first need to select the proper device, which is G in this case, the 239 gigabyte one. And you can test with some different speeds. 64 megabytes is if you're really lazy, but the standard one is like, I think it's 1 gigabyte 4 times is the standard, and that is a nice and reliable test. So we are just going to run this test here, and we're going to test read and write speed. Now the first two test values here, they are sequential, and the two later ones, they are random. And sequential is basically what matters the most for this case, which is the promised read and write speed when you bought your SD card. And there we go, all the results are in. And from this we can conclude that the speed of this drive is completely legit, since this one should have been 100 megabytes per second, or up to 100, and the write speed should have been up to 90 megabytes per second. And it will never be exactly the number it promised. It will always be a little bit below the promised value, and this is absolutely legit, absolutely fine. 94, 93, 85, 84 megabytes per second. It's close enough to 190 megabytes per second. So this is delivered. This drive is completely legit and not fake at all, which is pretty nice. Alright, it's now time to test the speed of a drive, a little SD card, MicroSD card that is certainly quite fake. We're now going to select the proper device, and I've already formatted this to the size it indeed actually is. And we're just going to perform a little quick test because, well, it will certainly not be the promised values. I would be very surprised. It's no way near 100 megabytes per second in read, and nowhere those levels at write. This one is super slow, very sad SD card, which is pretty expected since, you know, the size is fake of it, so the read and write speeds were probably also fake. So there you go, pretty slow, pretty small, not worth the money.
Is it too cheap? Then it's probably a scam. Unfortunately, some expensive ones are also a scam. But what you definitely need to look at is that the card is branded the same as the package. And it's also good to buy it from a reliable supplier, which is like not Wish, where I got my cheap one, not Amazon, and not any big like Alibaba or something like that. If you go to a professional store, they know what they are selling. Now, what I bought mine from is a professional online camera store, but they really sell pro stuff. So, buy from a reliable supplier, because this is obviously not worth 151 Swedish crowns, 18 US dollars. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope it helped you, and hope indeed that your SD card was what it was supposed to be. If it wasn't, do a refund. Probably, if it wasn't what it promised to be, probably buy from a more reliable supplier next time. Anyways, this is your host, Jim Odesen, signing out.